Morning, Tang. So this one is a little bit confusing, but these are a different type of lock. So let me show you. This is this type of lock. So it's got an inbuilt card reader in it, and it uses a standard mortise lock. So when you see the symbol, or when you see this electronic mortise lock proximity reader SALTO, it's not actually, it doesn't actually include the mortise lock. It's, for us, it's actually the escutcheon, and I know that is can be a little bit confusing because that's not the way it's written. But when you see SALTO, typically it's this type of like access control. So what they call an escutcheon plate, or the escutcheon is this kind of outside, and it fits onto a standard mortise lock. We don't need to supply the mortise lock; it's supplied by somebody else. We're supplying this section, so on the takeoff, we don't actually need the transfer or the mortise lock. So it's, for this one, I'll go around and have a look, because if there is, so this is a good example. So if the auto door has access control on it, like this, then you won't have a mortise lock. You will have the auto door interface, and this is a typical, like a normal card reader. So if we come back to SALTO, they also do normal card readers and access control doors. So there's two different types of SALTO, which can make it quite confusing, because they have worded it this way. Any of these doors, we would create a once-off symbol, and we might create a new we might get a new symbol made for SALTO, but it acts as a card reader, so probably just use the card reader symbol. And we make sure that the size is right. So wherever there is a pedestrian door, so not an auto door, but a pedestrian door, we would use the SALTO Escutcheon. And wherever there is an auto door or a lift, we would use the card reader, which is, so that's fine for here. That would become an auto door. We think we have to make a few assumptions here, so we might use mag locks, but yeah, they're not mortise locks in these instances. They would be mag locks if they were anything. So we would use a single mag lock monitored, And if we were going to use a single mag lock, we'd have to use a Rex button and brake glass so that they could get out. I think this one probably needs a little bit more thought put into it, apart from like what we've got here. That's not up to you guys. It's probably it needs to have an RFI raised. For the purpose of pricing, I'll go through this morning and just change this and change the takeoff to match. But looking at a real high level, I think we could. Looking here, we could erase all those, and we can erase all those. So all of the card readers now also become. We don't want to do that, but I'm going to have to, I think. So I know it's a little bit frustrating, but yeah, that's unfortunately what we're going to have to do to make this work. So I'll go through now and put the SALTO Escutcheons on. But yeah, just if you see that in the future, electric Morse lock proximity reader SALTO. If you see SALTO, then the item that we'll be using are the SALTO Escutcheons. Hope that makes sense.